I have some major updates in the whole Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni Wayfair that you are not going to want to miss. So, guys, I haven't been filming as much for a couple of reasons. One, I'm following very closely the Diddy trial and reporting on that on my other channel, and that has been taking up all my time. But also, my mother, well, she passed away last Friday. So, I don't want to get into all the details right now. Some of you may know if you follow me on X or TikTok, I was crying on TikTok, but I wrote a post on Mother's Day on X. So I'm dealing with all of that. But I wanted to get into the Mother's Day post that not only just about Ryan Reynolds, but first with Justin Baldoni. I actually posted it on my X account. I put up there that he made a great tribute to his mother and his wife on Mother's Day. But meanwhile, this is what happened with Ryan Reynolds. Take a look at this. And anybody that I'm using their TikTok for this, I will definitely leave their TikTok below so that you can go and check them out, see the updates. And also, we got to give credit to people where credit is due.
This is what Justin Baldoni posted for Mother's Day versus this is what Ryan Reynolds posted in his stories along with this one. And is he talking about Blake and wishing her a happy Mother's Day? No. But of course, Justin is talking about his own mother and his wife as a mother and wishing everyone a happy Mother's Day. And about 8 hours ago, still on Mother's Day, Ryan posted something else about himself on his stories. And some more garbage about himself in his stories. Just, he should just be thanking himself for Mother's Day, because why would he be thanking his own wife for anything? I just think that both of those, or all of these posts, are very telling of each man and what they really believe in about women. What do you guys think?
So on Mother's Day, he didn't post anything about Blake, didn't wish her happy Mother's Day, really nothing about mothers, just some ridiculous meme making a joke. It's just like, about a mom and I have the best mom. It's just trifling BS that we are used to seeing from Ryan Reynolds. Anybody who thinks this is a great man, honestly, you are living in complete and utter delusion, or you're being paid off, because I don't see how anybody could see him as redeemable in any way. Now, of course, he recently went on the Stephen Colbert show. I may do a breakdown of it, but honestly, I'm tired of seeing and listening to these two. I want to get more into the tea, more into the case, more into what's going on. Now, speaking of that, Blake woke up, it says here on a forum, Blake Lively snark on Reddit. It says Blake woke up from a coma to finally post about Mother's Day today. So she posted about Mother's Day, I guess, yesterday, Monday, finally. And I'm not going to go all into it, but she finally posted. So neither one of them posted. But then she posts this thing about mothers. She gets nothing from him, but she's posting about him. There it is. She's posting about him and Wrexham, him being on Stephen Colbert, more about the Premier League, all of that stuff, just nonsense. And I think it's just really telling. While most of us believe that Blake is a narcissist, I believe that Ryan is beyond narcissist. I believe he is a psychopath, sociopath, whichever way you want to classify in the DSM-5. I know that's not a real classification, that they just have anti social personality disorder, and it kind of falls into different things. But you can see who is like pandering to who is trying to please who. He gives nothing to her, but then she posts this, obviously probably not having a good Mother's Day. This is probably why she posted on Monday versus on Mother's Day. We believe, if you look at what Ryan posted, you can clearly see he couldn't give a damn. But then she posted, probably finally ready to post something after a terrible Mother's Day, and puts this out. Nothing great, again, just about Ryan. Now, this next update comes from our good sis, Elsrich TV, which of course I will link her YouTube below if you guys follow her on TikTok. She does an amazing job, investigative work. Shout out to her. I want to give credit where credit is due, because she does so much of the legwork and the hard work to discover all of these gems. Now, I brought to you her original video a few days ago about how Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, well, Ryan Reynolds had a company called Boone Hall that was registered in New York under him, with the same management, the same address, all those things that has been exposed. You guys have seen that. But now we have a follow up. Take a look at this. It's pretty telling.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are shook to the core, and you can't tell me otherwise. The Plantation company has been dissolved. 24 hours ago, I posted this video telling you all about the fact that the associates found this Boone Hall LLC, which in some weird way I think connects to the plantation that they got married at. They lied about it and said they didn't know it was a plantation and they found it on Pinterest and blah, blah, blah. Well, today, May 12th, 2025, in the year of our Lord, one of our associates messaged me exactly 40 minutes ago, but I was busy doing something else where I didn't see it. They were like, girl, I said, what? They said, go look. They sent me the link. I looked, y'all. According to the Department of State, because y'all love to be like, your website is not accurate. Well, fight with the Department of State. The Boone Hall LLC, DOS 4772502, the same DOS I brought up. Entity status is inactive. Reason for status, voluntarily dissolved. As in, it's not like they didn't pay some fees. A person who has oversight on that company made an executive decision to go on the website, call somebody, do whatever, dissolve the company. When did they do that? Today. Inactive date, 5/12/2025. And you can't say the dates are flipped. Bitch, we ain't been in December yet. Now tell me they're not watching. I'm shaking the table. Instead of wishing your kid's mom happy Mother's Day yesterday, you were trying to figure out how to dissolve this company?
Well, that might be hugely expensive.
Yeah. So, right after that discovery, not even 24 hours later, they dissolved the Boone Hall LLC, which Boone Hall is the plantation that they were married on in South Carolina. But this Boone Hall is registered in New York under Ryan Reynolds, and it was registered in 2015. When you take into account how they gave $200,000 to the NAACP in order to make up for this after years of getting backlash of all the things that they have done, whether it's blackface, calling black people monkeys, saying they didn't know this was a plantation, the hundred and I think $68 cupcakes for Black History Month. Just we can go on and on and on about it, right? But this tells you something very key. They are watching with eagle eyes to see what is being reported, what is being said. And I just think this was a dumb move. Like if you owned it, you knew you owned it, Boone Hall LLC, you were so in love with this plantation, even though you donated this money to the NAACP because of backlash. And then now 6 years later, Blake Lively gets this award as a civil rights titan, which is embarrassing. She was one of the few people to give speeches. The other person who gave a speech, Simone Biles. And as I showed you previously, she was listed between Serena Williams and Simone Biles as a civil rights titan. She was sandwiched between them. Like, how insulting was that to Simone Biles? The level of talent, a world class gymnast, athlete, one of the greatest athletes of our generation, had to give a speech alongside Blake Lively. I mean, it's just a slap in the face to someone like her. Okay, and so for my final update, this is coming from our good friend Lauren. I think it's the Court of Random Opinion here on YouTube. She does an excellent breakdown, reading all the court files, doing the live streams. I could not do what she does, but she does a great job at it. But look at this. This is insane. Per the motion to quash, Baldoni's subpoena was served to Taylor Swift on April 28th, the day Travis Kelce unfollowed Ryan Reynolds. They tried to spin in the media, had nothing to do with it. They tried to say, I had people saying, oh, you don't have any evidence that Travis ever followed him. You don't, they ever followed Ryan and you don't know, and blah, blah, blah. Of course, not a lot of detractors, but you know the bots. But now, look at the same day. That tells you everything you need to know. Now, Taylor Swift is out here trying to act like she's some victim that she has no idea. And she's just dragged. They keep using the same words over and over and over. And my thing is, okay, sis, if you had nothing to do with it, if your hands are clean, you should be glad to get a subpoena. You should be glad to be deposed. because then you can clear your name. All of the evidence will show you had nothing to do with it, and it'll be clear. Why do you need to put out so much media about how you had nothing to do with it? Why are we seeing all these stories about you, you're unfairly dragged in, and it's not your fault, and how could this happen? If you are as innocent as you claim, make it make sense. She's also saying that the only involvement she had was that her music was used in the movie. When we have Justin Baldoni saying specifically that he showed the tape of I think it's Ferrer, I can never say her name, but Isabella, the young Emily Bloom, and he showed it to Blake and Taylor, and they both was like, yes, her, she's the one. We hear this story about the music composer, which we know the music composer was replaced last minute. And they took the music composer from Deadpool Wolverine, and he had like 3 weeks last minute in order to put together this whole the soundtrack for the movie. And it was reportedly because you had beef with the composer that they had actually picked already, and that you weren't going to let them use your song if that composer stayed on. We don't have any receipts of that, but looking at the circumstantial evidence, that's the only thing that makes sense. And then, of course, we know what's already in the lawsuit, that Taylor Swift was there that night when Justin Baldoni was being pressured to take the script, the rewritten scene, the rooftop scene that was Blake claimed she wrote. But then we found out that no, Ryan Reynolds actually wrote that whole thing. And that you just happened to arrive at that exact moment, coincidentally. This woman who's on tour, this woman who's, a billionaire, a mogul, a musical icon, just strolls casually into their apartment at that exact moment, and nothing was planned. Like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds just surprised you with it. I don't know. Like, something about this seems shaky. Something about this is very weird. The whole thing reeks. And one thing that's really important to note is that Blake and Taylor, their friendship broke up in December. This was before Justin Baldoni sued Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. So, and then we already know she never backed up her friend's claims. Is that because she knows that Blake was trying to sleep with Justin Baldoni and that there was no sexual harassment? At least according to Brittany, what is it? Brittany Mahomes, the Kansas City Chief wife of Patrick Mahomes. Did you know this? And so you're just like, whoa, girl. Did you know she was doing the fake Me Too against him? Or is it that you just knew there couldn't be sexual harassment because your friend, Blake Lively, was trying to get her back cracked by this dude, that she was trying to sneak around and have an affair with him? So you knew it was false. So I do give Taylor Swift credit and not supporting Blake's claims. We have to give Taylor credit for this. She wants nothing to do with it. She's not supporting her. She supported other people and their Me Too claims. She's had her own Me Too claims. She's been a supporter of women when it comes to these things. But her own best friend, she's godmother to their children, and she wants nothing to do with it. That tells you everything you need to know. But at the same time, Taylor needs to stop with this whole narrative that she didn't do anything. Okay, sis, then let's get all the facts out. Let's see all the evidence. And then we can substantiate your claim. You can substantiate your claim. But this whole thing about her being this innocent victim when she's a billionaire mogul, like, give me a break. This woman is nearly 40 years old. Well, not nearly 40. She's closer to 40 than 20 or 21. She's not a spring chicken. She's not a child. I don't hate Taylor Swift. I don't dislike her. I've never followed her or her music. But what I don't like is playing this victim card in the media in order to shield yourself. And all this PR doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in court. So I'm not sure what this is supposed to be saving. It's just all weird. We have to keep unpacking this. Guys, like I said, I will be updated. I'm trying to keep up my daily updates on here. It's been difficult, like I said, losing my mother, then trying to cover this Diddy trial. There's just a lot going on. But please, I appreciate you guys who are rocking with me. Stay tuned because I have more coming out. With that, I will see you guys on the next one.